Hello and well moments, everybody, brought to you by Africam and of course powered by explore.org. It's me, Trishala, in my very eclectic setup, which I'll explain to you in a moment. But first, let's say hi to Ali. Hi, Ali.
Hi, Trish. I love your setup. It's very colorful.
Thank you, thank you. Uh, so, for all of you that don't know, the last time when we did the Africam show on Tuesday, I was in Durban, and I'm still in Durban visiting my family, and so they are now 7 family members all cramped on top of each other. And so this is my little space that I managed to secure for all of you. Here is an item from China, my South African flag to make me feel like, I am in the bush somewhat. And of course, my net to catch any passing insects so that I could show that to you too. So it kind of feels, and I'm in a camping chair. So it feels like I'm in the bush. Oh, let me not forget shark jaw, because if ever you needed to take a screenshot, this is it.
This is the moment.
Well, we hope that all of you are well and that you've had a fantastic start to the year. And now all that craziness should be dulling down in a bit. And now we can move on to some more types of crazy. And that is some wild moments that we've had in the bush. So obviously, we haven't had the Wild Moments show for a couple of weeks over this festive period. It might have been like 2 weeks. So we have a couple of really cool clips, and we've also added 2 waterholes, which is very nice. So there's Donio, which is my new
We're
favorite.
excited. Very excited about Old Donio.
In Kenya. It looks fantastic. I was looking at it earlier today, and you could see Kilimanjaro in the background. It is absolutely beautiful, and of course, it's been giving us lots and lots of cool sightings. Anyway, let's get through some. Oh, first, let me remind you that this is live and interactive. Send through your questions and your comments. You know how we love to hear from all of you, and we've already got some to start us off. Of course, it's Aussie Jan too. Always first. You say you have arrived with coffee in hand. I'm very to hear it. I don't have anything in hand at the moment, but I think there's
I do.
tea.
I'm representing. Don't worry.
What do you have there, Ali?
It's funny enough. I've been going through a thing with coffee, which is very sad because I miss it, but then I don't. But I have whatever concoction my mother made this morning. I wish I could tell you what's in it. It's boiled water for sure, ginger, and I suspect fennel or something like that. It's a great tea after, how much we've all been eating after the holidays. So it's just good to cleanse the system.
I may need that recipe from your mom.
I mean,
Ali is
I'm
in
pretty sure
Venezuela.
she goes through stuff.
Suzanne Bauschia, you say hi from Michigan. Gemma says good day all. Looking forward to the show. It's the first Wild Moments show of the year, everybody. It's very exciting. And then Rolling Trouble, yay! You say thanks for the show and hello from Washington. We've got Patty Daniels, Shaisa, and you say hi from Billings. And then we've got Jan that says hello all. Ooh, let me get through all of these before we play our first clip. Katie Bittner says hi and happy New Year, Trish and Ali. Thank you. Rolling Trouble says woohoo, the ladies. Yes,
Yay!
it's us again. Are you getting tired of our faces? Are you missing Russell and James? Oh well, you have us. Bree MacArthur says hello all. Ayla Almini says hi, hello, I'm from Iraq. Oh, it's lovely to have you with us to enjoy some of the African nature that we have to offer. And then we have Jirel who says hello Trishala, coffee in hand and ready to explore with Explore. So happy to start the year in such good company. That's very sweet. Thank you. And then we have Bob from Kalamazoo says, good day, ladies, and a happy new year. Kathy Barton says, good day from Florida for Trishala and Ali. And then Glenda Newman Craft says, good morning, Trishala and Ali. Whew, that felt like a lot.
Good morning, everyone.
Anyway, for Ali, it's the morning still. For me, it's 4:05 in the afternoon. So for, well, that's basically all our South African cams as well. But let's get to it. So our kind of theme is predators in the night, and we have some really cool clips. So the first one, oh, actually, maybe before I move on, we do have a new cam in Zimbabwe as well at Tembo Plains, and we will see a clip from there as well. So very cool. To start us off, let's go and have a look at old Donio, of course, and a lioness and her cubs that are playing. And we've been so often, so this is really cool. Some characters to get to know a little bit better. Oh, I think I actually love cubs this age. They have that one came out of nowhere.
That was too sweet. Like a little bomb, like it dive bombed into its mother.
Now, obviously, we don't know too much, or at least I don't know too much of about the prides in this area. Um, but again, it's something that we get to learn about together. And there's cubs, so this is wonderful. We get to watch them grow up.
I mean, it's
How
interesting that
old
she's.
would you say?
Oh, I don't stop running. I mean, I can tell you they look fat, but maybe 4 to 6 months old. But everything is
Yeah,
bigger in Kenya, so they could
I,
actually be like 3.
I would have also put them at about 5 or 6 months old. And what I'm looking at is their shape. Like, they've moved away from the cub-like shape very much. Obviously, they have
Yeah,
these huge hanging bellies, but they're in proportion now, you know?
in proportion. But it's just they look big. But I was in Kenya not too long ago, and I just was reminded. So everything is just bigger there, even the impala. It's not a joke. It's true. Everything is bigger in East Africa. I don't know what it is. Maybe better genes, better food. I don't know, but I do. Yeah, I mean, if they're quite playful, so let's just go with our gut instinct. Trish, you and I were onto something there. That one jumping onto the best,
We were
but
actually
also
having a similar discussion on Tuesday about the size because we had seen an impala ram on the Old Donio camp, and you could see that its horns were much bigger than what we could expect here in southern Africa. And we were talking about why we think that is, and obviously, at least it feels obvious to me that it's one of those things that's just chance because it's not something that would have directly survival being bigger or smaller because almost all the individuals are that same size, so that's the normal in that area. So what made it what could have funneled traits to be larger in that area? What do you think? Do you have any idea what it could be?
I mean, I think landscape would probably play a big role in it. Maybe they've got to be slightly bigger because they've got to roam through bigger areas. I don't know. Does that make sense? Because they've got to go for much longer periods, and it's interesting that they're. I actually don't have the answer for this. But in a lot of places in Kenya, they don't necessarily hunt buffalo, so it's not like they're bigger to hunt bigger prey. I'm talking specifically about
Mm,
lions.
yeah.
But maybe food is just a better quality, and I'm sure genetics in there as well. I mean, they're just generally bigger. And
Mm.
here in southern Africa, I suppose being as big might not be useful when it's so bushy, because you've got to get in through the thickets and so on. So if you're bigger, like it's a little bit more complicated unless you're an elephant. So I think for other creatures, they're just smaller because it's just better. It's easier. It goes more in line with the environment that they're in. That would be my wild guess.
Yeah, and I think that makes sense because ultimately those kinds of traits or the dominance of those traits is driven by environmental changes or factors. So if they're in an environment that is more open, that's definitely going to influence their genetics. How exactly, not sure, but we do know that in East Africa it's bigger, whatever it is.
Everything.
So, um, Aiden, who is our director, has just sent me some info. He says that the lioness with the 4 cubs is Kukuekeli. Kukuekeli, which is the Maasai name or Maasai name meaning secretary birds, and that she's also the mother of the two sub-adult males that I suppose we will also get to know. And Aiden says that this information is from Christy. Nice.
That's very nice.
Aussie Jan, she's a no nonsense mum, that's for sure. Lots of, I think all lionesses are no nonsense mums, I must say.
Well, I mean, can you blame them?
Exactly, absolutely. Anyway, let us move on to our next clip. This one is a little bit more local, at least for me. This one's from Nkoro, and it's a very cool clip of a lion and a huge herd of buffalo.
Can you tell if it's a male lion? I think I see a
I
male.
can't tell
Not convinced.
I can't tell immediately, but I watched a further on in this clip yesterday,
There you go. It is a male.
and it is a male. But it
A
kind
young.
of doesn't look like a very old male. Yeah, it's quite young because the mane is quite spotty.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know who it would be because around Ancora, of course, it's a little bit more local for us, but there are a few sort of youngish males that hang around that area that go there. And they're, of course, being right in the vicinity next to Kruger, you'll get, nomadic males that come in and go. So I'm not sure who it is, but look at him now peering up at the top of the mound. That is a very brave
Yeah,
uh, male. Listen, but I don't blame them. And at the beginning of the clip, when he had all of those eyes coming straight towards him, that's pretty scary. I mean, can you imagine you
oh
just
yeah,
holding your ground like that to a herd of buffalo until the very last second? Don't know if I could do that.
absolutely. And it's for us or people who are familiar with the bush, this seems like quite an ordinary thing. One lion, a herd of buffalo, you know which way it's gonna go. But I actually showed this clip to my little cousin earlier, and he was so surprised that why is the lion running away? How is the buffalo able to chase them? And because we're so used to it, we don't think about it. But actually, a lot of people would think, why on earth is this lion turning away? But a buffalo can cause severe injury to a lion, especially one that is a young male who is still, more curious than he is maybe tactful, and so he can get himself into a lot of trouble. And a whole herd like that, he basically wouldn't stand a chance. Even if it was an older male lion with experience, with an entire herd, it's very difficult. He wouldn't stand a chance. At least
No,
that's what I
I
think.
mean it's no. I think it's already very hard for more than one lion or for a pride or two males to bring
Mm-hmm.
down a buffalo. I did see it, funny enough, not too long ago at Ancora, where there was one male lion that, not at Ancora, sorry, close to Ancora on Ancora's Traverse, and he brought a single female buffalo all by himself, which is still, we couldn't believe it. We were like, something went wrong here. Where are the other
Wow.
lions? How did he do this? But he did. He actually did, which is it was something in its own because it was very strange. It's very difficult. And as you say, a buffalo is, just imagine the size of a car driving straight at you. I mean, it's not easy. And they can fling them up in the air and then toss them up and down, break ribs, break everything. So it's quite hard. I mean, buffalo can be intimidating creatures for everybody else, humans included. I wouldn't.
Yes.
I was up a tree once thanks to a buffalo, and he wasn't even that scary. I just didn't want to take the chance. So I completely feel that lion. Survival instinct kicks in, and then you just run to the highest ground you can find.
Highest ground and preferably with some kind of cover, but you still want to be able to see.
I
So
don't
this
know
lion
which way
actually
they're
did,
coming.
yeah, that lion did the best it could, actually.
Mhm.
We have a question from John. John says, howdy, Trish and Ali from a rainy Florida. John, it's rainy here in Durban too. It's been raining the entire day. But John would like to know, are there different types of lions or are they just one? So technically speaking, there is only one species of lion, but there are different regions that would have different characteristics. Like there is an Asiatic lion, but it is still a Panthera leo.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that answers your question. So there's one species, but there are different regions with different characteristics. I'm not actually even sure if the Asiatic lion is technically a subspecies. Do you know,
I
Ali?
thought it was. I think it is a subspecies, but I am not 100% sure. It should be because they refer to it as the Asiatic lion, and then here we call it the
Yeah,
African lion. So
African.
in all of
Yeah.
Africa, it would be the same species of lion. So we don't, what you see, maybe it's a
Oh,
lot of
you.
geographical variation, as Trish was saying earlier, that people will talk about the Kalahari lions or the Tanzanian lions or
Yes.
so on. So they look a little bit different based on the environment that they're in. Some of them might be blonder, some of them might be darker, bigger, or smaller, or some might just have much smaller manes. But that is more a response to their environment than anything else.
An
I
actual
suspect
species.
there could
Um,
be another.
I think
Yeah,
I think that you're right, but I'm 100% sure that it is one species, but the Asiatic lion is possibly a subspecies of the Panthera leo, because I'm
yeah, yeah,
so sure that I've seen Panthera leo, and if I'm seeing that for African lions, it means that there's a Panthera leo something else as well.
yeah.
And I was not sure if there was. So I know there was the Barbary lion once upon a time, which was also a subspecies of Panthera leo. But I'm not sure if currently in North Africa there is a different subspecies. I'm unsure.
I don't know. That was where I was going earlier. I don't know North Africa, but sort of West Africa, because they're sort of finding lions every now and again in the rainforest in the heart of Africa, which is very rare. So I would suspect that they might be genetically different from the rest, but they're very hard to come by. So people are still, as far as I know, trying to figure it out themselves and where to find them and where they
And
live and where they come from.
and it's actually very difficult. So even uh, the whole big cat lineage, it's called a ghost lineage because there's a big chunk where a lot of the fossils look exactly like modern day lions, but we know that they are different. And so it can be a little bit complicated, but we do know for sure, John, to wrap up your question succinctly, that there's only one species of lion, Panthera leo, but the Asiatic lion is most likely a subspecies, and there may be a West or a North African lion subspecies as well. But we will double check that. But for now, there's only one primary species of lion. Ooh, I love discussions like that. I really do. And then Belinda DeSinger says, "Run, Buffalo, run." I think it didn't hear you, Belinda. They were like, "No, I'm going to stand my ground." And then Brie MacArthur says, "Loved seeing all those eyes turn on the lion. It was very cool. It's like
Mm.
one just honed in and the rest were locked on the lion as well." And then Nancy Scogan, you say, "A happy new year from New Orleans. You're loving the new cameras. So are we. We really, really are." So the next wonderful clip is aptly named, I haven't seen this one, aptly named Toilet or Waterhole. Shall we see?
Oh, Trish, it's your favorites making you proud.
Had to be. Oh, and look at, yep, gotta get a sniff. Yep, gotta get a taste.
I can't say
Well,
that it's not drinking it.
yeah, I wouldn't say that either. I like to put this down to curiosity. Hyenas are very, very curious, and sometimes curiosity is not always dignified, you know?
love it. I love it when they bend their tails like that.
Mm. That's just quite interesting because when it was just the two, they looked very relaxed, but that third one came in
Yeah, it was almost
and
like there
caused
was no
some.
need to there was no need to establish a hierarchy when they were drinking, and when the third one arrived, it was like righty. And now he goes.
Yeah.
It goes.
So when the two were just drinking, both tails were down. It was fairly relaxed, and then as soon as the third one came, two tails went up. One tail went between the legs, uh, and like you said, it was as if someone had come in where the hierarchy would mean a lot. Maybe it's the matriarch or the second in command, her friend or whatever. But somebody came in where it had to be shown what the dominance hierarchy was within that space. And as soon as she
Hmm.
left, it was back to normal, very relaxed again. So we watch here, fine.
It's all good. Just a bit of. I mean, there's not even there's tenderness even there, so I'm not sure.
Yes, that is a great word. That was tenderness.
Yeah, and then they had to pretend that there was,
Yes,
because there's no aggression. I mean, we've seen hyenas a few times, and if they want to establish their dominance, they can be incredibly aggressive towards one another. So there was more like a nip at that one's the one on the left's back, a lot of sniffing and so on, but it didn't escalate to massive levels of aggression. You know what's interesting? Also, the one that came in afterwards doesn't nearly look as full or as fat as the other two. So maybe that's why he was angry, or it was angry, because it didn't eat as much as the other two. I think Trish has frozen. Sorry, guys. I'm sure she'll try to get back on to us very, very soon. But, she did look very puzzled, so at least she froze in a very interesting face. Um, Trish is going to try to sort it out a little bit, but I'll still be here. So don't worry, guys. We're still going to have a look. So if you have any more questions or anything else, send them through. I do think that is interesting that they, like I said, that the one that actually came in later wasn't looking as full as the other two. And so maybe there's where a little bit of the aggression came in and out from.
Ellie, am I back?
Ah, yes, you're back. Hello. Got you back.
Hello, I'm not sure what happened there, but from what I could hear Ali saying, you nailed it. Yeah. So, but that's what I love about hyenas is that you can, uh, there are these subtle social interactions going on that have a lot, this kind of social interactions that are above what is average for animals or for other less intelligent animals. So a little bit of deceit, a little bit of lies, um, that kind of thing. And I think that's what we saw there. They had to pretend, which was interesting.
Yeah, there. I don't know. It would have been nice to, have a fuller picture, but I suppose that's it. We would never get the full picture, so we can just
Yeah,
try to put things together. But that was interesting,
exactly.
and I think it was just more and like, I'm here just so you know. But okay, cool, I'm done. Bye.
I'm just checking what's happening here.
Exactly.
It's
Don't
okay.
you get too nice to one another. This is not the way we do it.
Exactly. Um, and Bill Grooms, you say greetings from South Carolina. You're sorry, but you've missed most of the show. It's okay. We still have two great clips to get through. I think two more great clips to
Potential.
go to get through. The next one is my favorite. It's a waterhole hierarchy. Just enjoy it.
I mean, when it starts like that, you have to know it's going to be great.
Exactly. That's a serval, everybody, if you are unsure.
It's a very elusive, very difficult to see cats in the wild. It's not in Kenya, might maybe a little bit easier, but still to see it drinking at a waterhole, it's unreal.
And this is at the old Donio waterhole. So it's really been bringing us some awesome sightings. I think this is the same mum and her 4 cubs. Obviously, this waterhole is within their territory.
It's amazing that she's had 4 cubs and then she's managed to keep them all, like, or raise them to this age. Because I mean, if I'm not mistaken, around Old Donio, there's not only other lions and buffaloes and things, but there's also a lot of human pressure. So the fact that she's got them all, I mean, she's doing pretty well for herself.
Absolutely. I don't know when the last time I saw 4 cubs from one mother that look this old.
Mhm. Yeah, look,
Oh.
it's blinking away. There's one calling the rest of them, like, come guys, we're going,
Come
come.
on,
Oh, there are always
guys.
rebels in every family. It's like,
Where are you
What's
going?
happening?
Oh,
Oh,
there's one behind your back.
I'm running. No wonder.
And everyone will always move when an Ellie comes through.
But can you actually believe the sequence? It is ridiculous. From a serval to a lion to an elephant in the space of a minute?
2 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is just too. This camera is too great. I love it already. Might be my new favorite.
Oh, and can you imagine Kilimanjaro in the background there? I mean, obviously we can't see it now, but this cam is starting to become my
Spectacular.
favorite. Beautiful, beautiful.
It is very
Um,
cool.
Jive Bunny, you say good afternoon, Trishala and Ali from the UK. Good afternoon, Jive Bunny. Bluebird says hello, Trishala, Ali, and Africam friends from Texas. And then Kathy Barton says, so cool seeing a serval. And then Brie McArthur also says, love servals. It is very cool to see a serval. I have not ever seen one in Juma. Not ever. Up in the Sabi Sands area.
Uh-huh.
But they have, I think there was a sighting, I'm pretty sure, but I have not seen it.
Serval. I know of wildcats. I had my first wildcat sighting there a couple months ago, which was really cool. But I don't think I've ever seen a serval in the Sabi. I've seen them in the Kruger, but not in the Sabi
Yeah,
Sand. And I've
exactly.
seen them
So
in the
I've
Mara.
seen,
They're much easier in the
yeah,
Mara.
much, much easier. And I remember there was a time where there was a serval and her kittens that were seen quite frequently up in the Mara area as well. I know, too cute.
They are the cutest.
And then Jive Bunny says, oh, this is wonderful on Old Donio. Absolutely. Just beautiful. All right, and now we have our bonus clip, the one to celebrate the new year. And it's our first clip from our cam at Tembo Plains in Zimbabwe. So let's have a look. He's got the garland on.
It looks like 100% is wearing a garland. You know, maybe
Often,
that's what I
especially
look like on the 31st, by the food and, a little bit of in my hair.
I think a lot of us looked like this, and definitely there was some. There was a Christmas hat in my hair. There was a flower garland around my neck. So I 100% looked like this hippo.
Oh,
I so
hippos.
love
You
that
guys are
um,
the
with
best.
these particularly large, bulky animals. So elephants, hippos, rhinos. I guess they're so big, but they often don't pay attention if anything's on their back. It just kind of sits there until it falls off or on their head. And I think it's just adorable.
I mean, this one is very nicely poised there as well. But I mean, it kind of even looks like water lettuce from here. I'm not sure if that's what I'm seeing, but that shouldn't be on top of that hippo, and that's exactly why it's a problem. Hippos go into water where they exist, come out of the water, and then move them to cleaner waterways because it's an invasive species from South America. So it shouldn't be in Africa, and it definitely shouldn't be on a hippo. But hey, it's a changed
I
world. If
mean,
there are hippos living freely in Colombia, surely some water lettuce can live freely in Africa. No.
oh, Ellie. It's a free rapid dispersal for the water lettuce, which you know, it's a wonderful thing if you're a water lettuce. Not so much if you're another aquatic plant species who would prefer to have the nutrients for itself.
True.
But anyway, that was really nice. We got to see our two new camps, well, Donio in Kenya, and then here in Zimbabwe as well. So very exciting. But we've now come to the end of our first half an hour together for 2023. We have a few more comments. Jive Bunny, you agree Old Donio is also your favorite. Kathy Barton says that was super special to see with the serval, the lion, and the elephant. It really was. I mean, in the space of 2 minutes, that was just rapid succession of some of the best sightings you could have. And then you also say a great way to start the year. At least I think that was you. Whatever it was a great way to start the year. Thank you, everybody. You will be seeing more of us for this year, and I expect that we're going to see some wonderful sightings with our two new cams, have some wonderful discussions and a good time together. So I look forward to it. Thank you for your questions and your comments. We'll see you again next time. Bye for now.